So we have understood about the term perennial. Perennial means it has water throughout the year. Okay. Most of the rivers are perennial. It means that they have water throughout the year. These rivers receive water from rain as well as from melted snow from lofty mountains. So, what is the main characteristics of this Himalayan rivers? That these rivers receive water from rain as well as from melted snow. Rain you have understood. So, from snow means from Himalayan mountains also these rivers receive water during summer. So, during summer in Himalayas, what happens? The rain water, the ice melts. When the ice melts from the melted ice, what happens? These rivers receive water. The two major Himalayan rivers are the Indus and the Brahmaputra, originate from north of mountain ranges. Which are the two major rivers? Indus and Brahmaputra. There are other rivers also. They have cut through mountains and making gorge. What is a gorge? That we'll understand here. This is my gorge. When two mountains are cut, and from in between the river is flowing, then that is known as a gorge. Okay. So the Himalayan rivers have long courses and their source from their source to the sea. Most of the Himalayan rivers end in the Arabian Ocean or Bay of Bengal. So from Himalaya to Arabian Ocean or Bay of Bengal, it is the length of the river is too much. So it has long courses. They perform intensive erosional activity. So what happens in this long course? Lot of mud and silt and everything is taken out in their upper course and carry huge loads of silt and sand. So what they are doing in this long course? They perform lot of erosional activity in their upper course and carry huge loads of silt and sand. In the middle and lower course, these rivers form meanders, oxbow lakes, and many other depositional features. So in 7th standard you might have studied about meanders, oxbow lakes, and other depositional features. So in middle and lower courses, when this rivers from the upper course means from the mountains, when they are coming to the plains, that time the speed of the river is too much high. But after that, in the middle and lower course, what happens? Middle and lower course, these rivers form meanders, oxbow lakes, and other depositional features in their floodplains. They have well developed delta. So what is the basic characteristics? When this rivers come to the plains, then they have a well developed delta means land area. Okay. So a large number of peninsular rivers are seasonal. So here till now we have learned about Himalayan rivers. Himalayan rivers are perennial, but here in peninsular rivers, the original rivers originating from peninsular area of India, that is central area of India, not from Himalayas. Other rivers originating other than Himalayan rivers. All the other rivers other than Himalayan rivers are peninsular rivers. So rivers which are not originating from Himalayas are peninsular rivers. A large number of peninsular rivers are seasonal as their flow is dependent on rainfall. So what is the characteristics of peninsular rivers? These rivers, the flow is dependent on rainfall. During the dry season, even the large rivers have reduced flow of water in their channel. So in the dry season, what is the characteristics? As these rivers are mostly dependent on rainfall only, so in summer season, dry season means summer season, these rivers don't have that much water. So peninsular rivers have shorter and shallower courses. So what is the thing? Shallower means if shorter course means from the originating area, this peninsular rivers, the its length is very much short. Okay, its length is very much short. So from the originating area it reaches the destination, that is either Arabian Sea or Indian Ocean or Bay of Bengal. It reaches the destination very fast. So it has a very shallower course. Shallower means the depth of the river is also not too much. Okay, so it has a very less depth. So uh, other than the rivers that are originating from the Himalayas, in the Himalayan rivers the depth of the river is too much. Okay, it has but here the in peninsular rivers it has shallower courses. Shallow means it is not very deep. Okay, so as compared to the Himalayan counterparts, Himalayan counterparts means as compared to Himalayan rivers are very much deep, but here peninsular rivers are not deep. However, some of them originate in the central highlands and flow towards west. Okay, so most of the rivers of the peninsular India originate from Western Ghats and flow towards Bay of Bengal. So one of the main thing is most of the rivers originate from Western Ghats. So because of that only Western Ghat is very much important. But then also today you see Western Ghat is been destroyed. The Himalayan rivers. The major Himalayan rivers are Indus, Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. These three are the major Himalayan rivers. These rivers are long and are joined by many large and important tributaries. So these rivers are, what are the characteristics of these rivers? These rivers are long. So we already studied the Himalayan rivers are long. So major three rivers are there: Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. And these three rivers are what? Long, and they are joined by many large and important tributaries. A river along with its tributary is may be called river system. So there will be a definition. What is a river system? River along with its tributary is called river system. So first is Indus river system. The river Indus rises in Tibet near Lake Mansarovar. Flowing west, it enters in India in Ladakh district in Jammu and Kashmir. So first river system that we are going to study is Indus river system. The Indus river rises in Tibet and near Lake Mansarovar. Flowing west, it enters in Ladakh district in Jammu and Kashmir. It forms a picturesque gorge in this part. So first thing is river system rises in Tibet. So first point you have to understand is that Indus river system rises in Tibet near Mansarovar Lake. So originating point of any river is very, very important. It enters India in Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. So what happens? It enters India in Ladakh district. It forms a picturesque gorge in this part. So what does it do? It forms picturesque gorge. So several tributaries like Zanskar, Nubra, Shayok, Khunsa join it in Kashmir region. So several other tributaries, the Zanskar, Nubra, Shayok, and Unsa. So one of the it is better you note this tributaries down: Zanskar, Nubra, Shayok, Khunsa. These tributaries join in Kashmir region. The Indus river flows through Baltistan and Gilgit in and emerges from the mountains at Attock. So other characteristics that you have to understand is this rivers flow through Baltistan and Gilgit and it emerges in the mountains of Attock. The mountain range from which it emerges is Attock. The Satluj, Bias, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum join together to enter the Indus river in Mithankot in Pakistan. So in Mithankot in Pakistan it is entering. So which are the other rivers that are joining? Satluj, Bias, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum. So it is better you note down the tributaries of the rivers. Okay, so main tributaries are Zanskar, Nubra, Shayok, Khunsa. So later on it flows through Baltistan, Gilgit and emerges at the mountains of Attock. So other tributaries are Satluj, Bias, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum. Okay, So and in Mithankot in Pakistan it is entering. Beyond this, Indus flows southward, eventually reaching Arabian Sea east of Karachi.